राधारमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा हरि गोपाल बोलो. Brihat Bhagavatamrita, Narada Muni and Uddhava. Samvada. Uddhava is speaking to Narada Muni. When Narada Muni has glorified and praised Uddhava's fortune so much, Uddhava is speaking. Recently, I went to Vraja and saw something that ground into dust my pride in my own great good fortune. There I could understand the wonderful sweetness of Lord Krishna, his mercy, his love, and his devotees. By seeing them, I became very fortunate and attained all the Lord's mercy. Thinking that I had attained the Lord's great mercy, I became flooded with bliss. Singing about them again and again, I yearned to become their follower. Everyone knew I cannot say more. O best of sages, I bow before you again and again. With plaintive words, I beg you, don't be so eager to hear of this. Sri Parikshit said, understanding the meaning of what Uddhava said, Rohini, who having stayed for a long time in Gokula, was dearly loved by the people there. Tearfully said, Sri Rohini said, O servant of Lord Hari, I am happy. I have not a moment's worry. Please don't place on the path of my memory they whom misfortune has destroyed, who have not the slightest scent of good fortune, who are plunged in an ocean of sorrows, who are poisoned, who are set aflame by a host of burning volcanoes. When Maharaj Vasudeva took me to Mathura, Yashoda cried so bitterly, her tears broke what is harder than thunderbolts. On his mouth, who can place the news of the other women there, who were like the living dead? Vasudeva took Rohini. To Mother Yashoda. She cried so bitterly. When your master returned from his guru's home, I, being a fool, briefly and sadly told him their story. His heart was not softened, for he did not return, but in his stead, he sent you, an eloquent speaker of messages. Why then do you say that your master has given his best mercy to them? When Krishna was in Vraja, from demons beginning with Putana and ending with Keshi, from demigods beginning with Varuna and Indra, from a serpent and other creatures, from the breaking of the old cart and the Arjuna trees, what calamity did not attack Vraja before my own eyes? Still, the people there were not troubled. Still, the people there were not troubled. It was as if they had become enchanted. They always wished for Krishna's welfare and they never considered their own. That's so beautiful. They always wished for Krishna's welfare and they never considered their own. That is beautiful. Everything they did was for Krishna's happiness, done out of love. That's very nice. Before your master did not do anything for their welfare. How can I describe what he does now that his goals are fulfilled? Shri Parikshit said. Hearing this, wicked Kamsa's arrogant and senile mother, shaking her head, said, she's Padmavati. Mhm. She's the mother of Kamsa. From childhood, Krishna protected in a forest of brambles the cows of these merciless cowherds. They never gave him even shoes. Padmavati is speaking about how all the Vrajavasis, Yashoda Mai, Nanda Maharaj, all of them, all the Vrajavasis treated Krishna very poorly. This is Kamsa's mother, Padmavati speaking. So she's saying, they never gave him even shoes. When tortured by hunger, he drank a little milk. The woman tied him up. I think she must be referring to Damodar Leela. Oh, well, how can she understand about Vraja? Let them cry. Krishna suffered so much in the course of time. What must he do for them now? Mm. Deeply intelligent Rohini, who was very dear to Vraja, ignored her words and chose to glorify the people of Vraja. Sri Rohini said, Krishna went to the Yadu's capital, Mathura, killed his enemies, and then became the happy king of kings of kings. Happy king of kings of kings. Your master, to whom the defeated demigods bow down, in his heart does not remember them. Sri Parikshit said, unable to tolerate these words, Krishna's beloved Queen Rukmini, who always stays in his heart, said, O mother, how, without understanding how his heart is softer than fresh butter, can you speak in this way? All of you, please hear what I have heard. When he sleeps at night, sometimes he sweetly and lovingly calls many cows by name, and sometimes he calls his charming Gopa friends. Sometimes his transcendental form bends in three places, and he pretends to place the flute to his mouth. Sometimes he says, Mother, give me some fresh butter. Sometimes he calls to me, Sri Radha, Lalita. Sometimes he says, Chandravali, why? And tugs at my garment. Sometimes, as he sleeps, he softens the pillow with many tears. Suddenly rising from the bed, he weeps, making sounds of grief. And by this, we become plunged in an ocean of tormented grief. Seeing something in a dream last night, he has become very depressed. Weeping in grief, he covers his head with a blanket and pretends to sleep. Today, he has not done any of his regular duties. Surrounded by her co-wives, Queen Satyabhama jealously said, Oh, Shri Rukmini, why do you say at night? Awake, he is dazed. Awake, he is dazed, as if in his heart he sleeps, and again he laments as when he slept. We are his wives in name only. His young gopi maidservants are more dear to him than we. Sri Parikshit said, unable to tolerate these words, Rohini's son, glorious Balarama, who was the life friend of Gokula, angrily said, Sri Baladeva said, Girls, my brother is tricking us. His talk of the sorrows of the people there in Raja is only his expert skill at cheating others. Although wishing to bring the people there to an auspicious condition of life, I stayed in Raja for 2 months. With my words and deeds, I was not able to do it. Seeing that no one but Krishna could help them, with hundreds of promises, I comforted them a little, and then I quickly returned here. I anxiously said, Krishna, go at once to Vraja, and with your company, save the lives of the people there. His mouth said, I will go, but his heart did not say it. His deeds bear witness to the real condition of his heart. Shri Parikshit said, hearing this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is conquered by his devotees' love, suddenly rose from bed and, weeping loudly, went outside. Overcome with compassion and raining streams of tears from his blossoming lotus eyes, in a choked voice, he said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, through struck by the greatest thunderbolt, my heart does not break in two. Though struck by the greatest thunderbolt, my heart does not break in two. I have forgotten their extraordinary love for me and how they protected me for a long time since I was a child. May they somehow become happy. I have cruelly brought great suffering to them, whose hearts are gentle. All-knowing, dearest friend, Brother Uddhava, what should I do? Please tell me at once. Lift me up from this ocean of grief. Shri Parikshit said. Then Devaki, who loved her son and who was the dear friend of Nanda's wife, said, you should give your dear friends whatever they wish. Then Padmavati said, who is the Lord's old grandmother and Yaduraja Ugrasena's senile queen, who feared that now the kingdom would be given away in charity, and who felt insulted because Balram's mother would not listen to her words. In order to protect her husband's kingdom, cleverly spoke, as if joking. Padmavati said, with her words to change his mind and bring an auspicious condition to him, Lord Krishna, the only shelter of Yadu family, she said. Shri Padmavati said, Krishna, why are you troubled? Listen to my advice. With his own hand, Garga Muni will calculate every morsel of food you two brothers ate for the 11 years. You protected the cows in Nanda's home. Then I promise that my husband Ugrasena will give him twice that. I promise this. Padmavati. They just don't get it. Shri Parikshit said, as if he both heard and did not hear, as if he did not understand at all. Out of grief, the Supreme Personality of Godhead spoke to Uddhava. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O best of the wise, O you who know all the wishes of Raja's people, tell me at once what they wish of me. Shri Parikshit said. Hearing the Lord's words, Uddhava became filled with wonder and unhappy at heart. He sighed and unhappily said to him, they do not wish the opulences of the king of the kings of the kings. They do not wish from you any glorious valuables. They do not wish anything but you in this life or the next. Please give me the mercy of your attention. I will speak, and then you may consider what should be done. Previously, when the people of Vraja saw the ornaments and other things you had sent back with Nanda, they became plunged in an ocean of grief and said, alas, alas, alas. Now Krishna thinks we want these things. Is his mercy? Miserable. Miserable is the life breath that still stays on our throats. Miserable. Miserable are Nanda and the Gopas, who left Krishna behind and brought us these things. Now that they have given up hope that you will return, the people of Raja, along with your mother Yashoda, are on the verge of death. Now they have begun a great fasting until death. Overcome with grief and thinking he had committed an offense, Nanda could not speak for 3 days. Then, explaining with great reason and repeating your promised return, he gave hope to the people of Raja and saved their lives. We'll continue this later. This is okay, 69 to 20. Vaishnava Thakur की जय, ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन ब्रजवासी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत भक्त की जय. Hare Krishna.